Ladies and gentlemen, this is Lions Den with another news and commentary. I'm gonna give a shout out to B Miles from the Constance channel for this article. Um, this article comes from Express.uk. It says space danger. Iran plant prepares for rocket launch amid a furious backlash from U.S. officials. Hmm. So they're planning on have a space launch. And they plan on having an air defense system prepared because the United States possibly is planning on going to war with Iran, and Iran is basically ready for this attack. Now, I'm going to go ahead and play this video from Donald Trump. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, you will not see the video from reaction, but you will hear the audio of what he said. And remember, he said that he is revealing it's going to be a regime change in Iran. So I'm going to go ahead and play this video. Then I'm going to continue reading this article. And then I'm going to continue the rest of my commentary.
I don't want to comment on that, but I knew he was coming in, and I respected the fact that he was coming in, and he met with President Macron, and Iran has got a very difficult situation. They're in a position that's not a very good position from the standpoint of economics, and that's okay because we can clear that up very quickly. I'm looking to have a really good Iran, really strong. We're not looking for regime change. You've seen how that works over the last 20 years. That hasn't been too good. And we're looking to make Iran rich again. Let them be rich. Let them do well if they want, or they can be poor as can be. They can be like they are now. And I'll tell you what, I don't think it's acceptable the way they're being forced to live in Iran. And what we want is very simple. It's got to be non-nuclear. It's got to be non-nuclear. We're going to talk about ballistic missiles. We're going to talk about timing. We're going to talk about the length of the agreement, which, as you know, it expires in a very short period of time. I mean, the agreement that President Obama made expires in a very short period of time. What kind of an agreement is that? He paid $150 billion for a short-term agreement. He'd like to have $150 billion for a short-term. He'll do that deal. Plus, he gave him $1.8 billion in cash. Where's your finance minister? Finance minister, which one? Please go. Okay. Explain to him. $1.8 billion in cash. Will you take it? Egypt will take it.
So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. That was President Trump. Hold on one second. I'm trying to pause this. But you heard what he said. He want a good Iran. He don't want a poor Iran. Seems to me that they want to go to war with Iran.
Being here was a tremendous honor and great opportunity to.
I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, but it seems to me Trump is ready to go to war with Iran. But remember, this is the same man that withdrawing the nuclear deal with Iran with other countries. He was the one that withdraw everything, and now they want to go to war with Iran. But so the United States is mad because Iran is preparing for a rocket launch, and probably trying to ready for a war that's about to happen. So, but now Trump is kind of like, well, we want a different Iran. Either they want a rich Iran or a poor Iran. It sounds to me, in other words, they want a regime change. That's exactly what it sounds to me. They want a regime change. So it looks to me that the United States are all in of going to war with Iran. But again, it's going to be consequences by doing this. And remember, Iran easily, like I told you on one of my videos, we were talking about on my previous videos before, we talked about what the U.S. versus Iran type situation. If the United States go to war with Iran, the Iranians are planning to retaliate, attacking Israel. It's going to be a big mess. And remember, I told you before, Iran has allies with Russia and China on board. So you want to go to war with Iran, make it a regime change, really risking an international incident with China and Russia on board with Iran. And the only allies the United States have right now is Israel, because a lot of other countries like France, Germany, they ain't going along with this. So I'm going to go ahead and read this article. And again, this is from express.uk. It says a satellite, um, I'm going to be like this. It said a satellite image taken by the commercial company Planet shows a previous debris-filled launch pad now splashed with blue paint. The land was barren with aerial photographs were taken on April 29th, but when fast forward to August 24th, considerable amounts of work can be seen to have been completed. And I'm going to go ahead and read this. It says the site at the Imam Khomeini Space Center had been covered with a scar, potentially as a result of flash floods from the previous spring, NPC reports. David Schmerler, a senior research associate at the Millbury Institute of International Studies, confirmed the report. He said the Iranians have finished clearing off the pad and they painted over the previous launch scar. Other recent imagery in the area has shown vehicle activity at a location where Iran assembles its rockets. Mr. Schmerler said that this was a clear sign of that something was intimate. He says, we're getting close to a launch, but exactly when that will happen, I can't tell you. I'm going to stop you right there. When you hear what that guy was saying, and you hear the code words, that war between the United States and Iran is about to happen. Because ain't no way in the world that they're going to say, well, it's intimate, but exactly what I can't tell you. It looks to me that it's a go. It's a go. We're going to war with Iran, and obviously this is why Iran is planning on having defense systems, have rockets ready to go, because again, it looks to me that the United States is going to war with Iran. And you heard the language. You just heard what Trump saying, that it looks to me they go have regime change in Iran. See, this is what's concerning me about this incident, about the situation, right? The United States, Trump withdraw the deal, the Iranian nuclear deal. Okay, which was last year, which is 2018. They withdraw the nuclear deal, and this is why things like this are happening, because of that. But yet Trump was like, "Well, we want a nuclear regime change. That's what we want to do and what do we want, the rich Iran or the poor Iran?" So the Iranian government said, "Okay, we're going to go ahead and we'll have have our rocket launcher in space just in case we are going to war." And so now this is not looking good on both sides. So it says the news comes as Iran press reported that the government has 3 satellites that could be ready for launch by the end of March 2020. And a recent report from August suggests that one of the satellites, a communication satellite intended to relay television, radio, and telephone signals, is ready for launch now. If a launch does take place, it will be Iran's third attempt to send a satellite into space, with launch attempts in January and February both ending in failure. The rocket that was launched in February, known as Sapphire, flew for a while before failing. The 5th Sapphire rocket to fail since its first launch in 2008. And I'm gonna continue reading this. And I'm like I said, to say if Iran about to strike Israel, Tehran vows immediate retaliation. I will explain about that situation later on, but I'm going to continue reading this article. It says the Trump administration soon to brought attention to the potential danger of Iran attempting to launch satellites into space. It says that the space rockets also acted as signs that Iran's ballistic missile program was advancing. Secretary of State Mike Pompeo said such vehicles incorporate technologies that are virtually identical and interchangeable with those used in ballistic missiles, including intercontinental ballistic missiles. Last week, Iran unveiled a domestically built mobile surface-to-air defense system. State media reported the VAR 373 long range missile defense system was similar to Russia's S 300. Development of the VAR 373 began in 2010 after international sanctions restricted the sales of the S 300. When the sanctions were lifted in 2016, Russia immediately shipped the S 300 to Iran, much to the dismay of the world leaders. U.S. fear are unfounded as in June, Iran shot down a U.S. Global Hawk drone with a surface to air missile, almost setting off military conflict with the United States. Iran justified the downing of the drone by claiming it was in its airspace, though Washington was quickly to deny any violation of Iran's airspace. So, and it's comparing U.S. firepower against Iran firepower. So, right now, you're seeing what's going on. It looks to me that the war against Iran is a go. And when you hear regime change, it's just like, remember Hillary Clinton said about the invasion of Libya, want to take down Gaddafi. They want regime change in Libya. This is what Trump is doing with Iran right now. But remember, this wouldn't have happened if our President Donald Trump didn't withdraw the nuclear deal. We wouldn't have this conflict right now if it wasn't for that. And since it's happening now, look what's happening right now. They're making plans to go to war, which this is so unheard of. But the blame is us, not Iran. Us. We were the one withdraw the nuclear deal last year of Iran. It was a great deal. People negotiated. France, Germany, every other country agreed with this deal, and Trump withdrew the nuclear deal altogether. So I'm going to continue reading this. It says, this, along with Iran announcing that it doesn't seek to renegotiate its current ballistic missile program on Sunday, makes for an environment of escalation tensions. Although independent analysts said Mr. Smerler are quick to dismiss claims that the U.S. and Iran may go head-to-head. They say there's an unclear connection between Iran's liquid fueler space rocket and its missile activities. Iran has already insisted that its nuclear program is peaceful, but suspicious it was being used as a cover to develop a nuclear bomb prompted the UN Security Council, US and EU to impose sanctions on the country in 2010. In 2015, Iran reached a deal with the US, UK, France, China, Russia, and Germany that saw its agreement to limit its nuclear activities in order to have the sanctions lifted. However, in May of 2018, Donald Trump withdrew the U.S. from the agreement, a move Iran responded to by suspending some commitments agreed in the deal. I'm going to go ahead. Okay, that's the end of the article. Ladies and gentlemen, we wouldn't have this conflict if Donald Trump withdrew this nuclear deal last year. It was all fine. Everybody agreed to this deal, and Donald Trump didn't like it because former President Obama, the one make this deal that can happen. That happened. So now he withdrew the deal, and Iran said there will not be any renegotiations. And now you see this incident is going on right now with the United States and Iran. And now Trump's saying they really want regime change, which means they're going to go to war with Iran. And when that happens, and I'm telling you right now, ladies and gentlemen, Iran's going to retaliate by using Scud missiles and by using missiles to attack Israel. I know this for a fact. This was going to happen. And then all of a sudden, countries around the world are going to choose sides. Israel know that they're on the USA side, but Russia and China are going to be on Iranian side because that's their allies. I'm telling you what was going to happen, and don't be surprised that it's end up being World War III. I wouldn't even be surprised because that invasion of Iran. Iran basically said that the nuclear is peaceful, but the United States government don't believe that. So it looks to me that the war against Iran is a go. It's a go ahead. And when Trump used those words, regime change, that tells you right there, this, yeah, war is about to happen soon. So leave a comment, tell me what you think, like, click, subscribe, and remember to click the notification bell for all the news and commentary. With that being said, this is Lions Den signing off. Deuces.